Hey everyone, my name is Rosie and welcome back to my channel. It has been about a million years since I last filmed a video. At least it feels like a million years. It's probably only been a couple months. But anyway, we are back today with a pretty exciting and fun project. So I have some blank mixed media postcards here, and I thought it'd be fun if we collaged on the front of those postcards. And then if I can figure it out, I would love to be able to mail whatever postcards we make today to some of you all. I'd love to run a little giveaway and mail the postcards we make today to the winners. So more details on that at the end of the video. But first we have to make the postcards. So let's get into it. So I have collaged on postcards before. I made this series of 4 years and years ago. This might be one of the first videos I ever posted on my channel. I took these vintage postcards and, collaged on top of them. And the 4 of them kind of fit together as a theme. There's, a planet and a person dancing and some foliage or flowers or plant life. And then I happened to find these 4 frames at, I think, a flea market. And they kind of just fit these really perfectly. So I have done this once before, but it was a long time ago. It was about 3 years ago. But I do think that I like the idea of these being a related series. They're not fully connected, but they have similar themes, similar elements. And so I think I kind of want to do something similar today. Not similar to these, but do a series with the postcards we're going to make. Now let me get the blank postcards that I have. So I found these Strathmore mixed media postcards that come in a pack of 15, paid $5 for this. And so each postcard is 4x6. It's blank on one side and then it has the postcard things on the other. I did use these for a project a little bit ago and I have 4 left in this pack. Then I also have a new pack. So if we mess up or something, I have some backups because I do think this is a really fun thing to collage on. So I got some extras. But this is the size we're working with. Not super small, but not super large either. It's a pretty small area, so we're gonna have to keep that in mind. I'll keep one of these out just for a reference. Now, in terms of where we're gonna start, I think I'll just start flipping through my folder of things that I've cut out before, just to start somewhere, just to see what I have cut out already, something that is maybe the right size. Even some of these flowers are too big already. So let's start flipping through this. And I also pulled out a couple other books that we might want to look through. I have no plans on what the subject of these is going to be. So we'll just flip through and find out. Well, we always figure it out. So nothing new today. We might do mushrooms. I don't know. I kind of in the mood to use mushrooms. So I'm going to pull out that page. So let's keep looking. Gems. I think I'll also pull out these black and white people. I'm not really in the mood to work with animals today. I'm not exactly sure why, but the animals are not speaking to me today. Have a couple cameras. Maybe I'll pull those out. They're kind of the right size. And that's it from here. So I pulled out a lot of objects that I'm really digging, but what I have to figure out is what the theme is going to be of these, 4 postcards. And then I have to make sure I have enough of that type of image to get across that theme. Although, I might be putting too much pressure on myself to make it be a series. They're all have the same theme. So maybe we don't have to do that at all. I don't know. I haven't found that thing, that thing that sparks my idea yet. Haven't found that yet. Once I find that, then I feel pretty good and you get the ball rolling, but haven't gotten there yet. Some of these pictures might be too big. Yeah, I don't think any of these are gonna work. They're too big to be on the postcards. Bye-bye. So I found a couple of images of ladies sleeping, which is like maybe kind of a weird subject, but I kind of like the idea of having them be sleeping and then putting them in a surrounding that is whimsical and dreamlike. You can sort of create their environment to feel like they're dreaming up that environment. But I do think I need to find a couple more sleeping people. Also, this idea might be too weird, and that's the universe is telling me that I shouldn't do sleeping people because I can't find enough sleeping people, but we'll keep looking. I don't give up easily. All right, I think I'm completely pivoting. Hold please while I find some new things for my idea. Hopefully I have them, and then we'll reconvene when I have some things together, because I think this idea might be a little bit better than the sleeping people. All right, let's talk about the idea. I've pivoted kind of a lot. So I have this book, The Living Reef, which has all these really great underwater shots with these coral reefs. And this book is kind of the perfect size where, you know, half of this book is pretty much the same size as one of these postcards. So I think that the images in this book will work really well for the postcards. Like, that one's perfect and the colors are so beautiful. And so what I was getting from that other book and a couple other things that I had were some picture frames. I can nestle one of the gold frames inside the coral reef images. Now, I think this particular one is too large for the postcard, unfortunately, but I found some other ones that are smaller. I haven't cut these out yet, but you can see this one in this image, and I think that's a better size for this postcard. So anyway, I can take those out, put them, nestle them into the coral reef, and then put some different type of image within the frame. Maybe a living room, or, you know, maybe a nature scene with a landscape with grass. Something that's going to contrast really well to whatever the coral reef picture is. So I'm really liking this idea. Now, I do have to go through this book and pick 4 images that we really like, and I have to cut out our picture frames from the images that I pulled and make sure that they fit well with each other and make sure all that's going to work. But there's really some incredible shots in this book, so I am looking forward to seeing if this is all going to come together like it is in my head. So let's get cutting. I also need to clean up a little. There's images everywhere. This frame is pretty much the perfect size for this postcard. I wish I had more of this size, but we'll make do with what we have. This oval one is maybe a little bit too big, but we'll see if we can make it work. I think with the right background, you can make it work. We've got some pretty good frame options. I'm pretty excited about this, actually. Look at this little gallery wall we have. I think this one is too large, even though I really do like it. But now let's go through this book and find which images we want to use as the background and then match the frame to them. This one I think is really beautiful with the blue. Even this frame down here, oh, that could be really cool. I'm gonna cut out this picture. I think I'm actually gonna break the binding in this book because these 2 pictures are printed on the same piece of paper. Look at that. Now we have a perfect, huge piece with almost no damage in the middle crease. I really love that. All right, we gotta find a few more. I really love this one too. I think this image will work really well. And I also think what will help a lot is if I can cut around some of these fish so they're coming in front of the frame. You know, even with this one, we could have this diver swimming into the portal. That actually might work. All right, fourth image acquired. Let's lay them all out and make sure we have a frame for each. So for this one, I'm thinking this portal would work really well. This one, I was thinking, okay, yeah, this frame, but vertically like that. Oh, I'm getting really excited about this. I think this is gonna be a really, really interesting idea. And then this one could probably be almost any of these, but I think this frame goes nicely with the colors. All right, the last picture is this one. Now I'm thinking probably one of these should be on this one. I think that we have our winners. All right, now what do we want to do next? All right, because I can't see through the postcards, I did make a little window so I could see what part of the images that I wanted to keep for the actual postcard. So I think that that window is looking pretty good. So I'm kind of liking when you can see 3 of the corners of the frame and then I just hide one of them. I think that makes it feel a little bit more like a frame. So now we got to get out this frame. I kind of am liking that. Perfect. Let's see if we can get our scuba diver here to look like he's swimming through the portal. Ooh. Let's bring out our template because I want to make sure everything's going to fit. Okay, hold on. Something is weird about this. I think this one is not as strong as the others. Okay, let's come back to this one because I don't know yet. This one I think works really well. Now let's see in terms of the sizing. Oh yeah, this one's perfect. I really like this one. So I have 3 of these done and ready to get their inside picture, whatever we're gonna put inside the frame. So that's great. The last one, after flipping through a ton of books, I finally found a frame that I think might work with our scuba diver. So let's move this off to the side and pull this guy out here. We got to get rid of that big frame. It's just not right. Okay, let's get our frame out here. I think that this is going to work. The proportion of the frame to the postcard size is a lot better and it's a lot more similar to all the rest of them. Now I'm really happy with where we are with this piece and the 3 other ones. So now we can move on to finding what we want to put inside the frames. Let me look around and see what images we can find. I'm first going to start in this book, I think. All right, I don't think any of the images in this book are right. So on to the next one. This is sort of exactly what I was looking for. Far distance, lots of green, really bright with a little bit of a building. I really like this one. So many of those images had water in them, but I think I might have found enough. Okay, Okay, what do we think of that? What do we think? That's pretty cool. I really love the contrast on this one. So we have this very blue image with this bright green scene down here. I think that this one's working really well. They just look so good together. Let's keep going. See, this coral scene is a lot more green. So I'm not really sure if my idea of a green image is really going to stand off of this. I think that one is pretty good, but I'm gonna keep going, and if we find a better one later, we can always replace it. I think that one's pretty good too. So I'm struggling a little bit to find the perfect landscapes for all of the frames that I have and getting the contrast right. So I was thinking, what if we don't do all of them landscapes? What if we do a couple of them space themed and we put galaxies or some stars back there, and then maybe we can put planets instead of extra fish. We could put planets in the ocean. So I was just thinking, maybe if we pull out all of them and just see what we think about some of the contrast. Because I really do like this idea with the landscape. I just think some of them are getting lost. I feel like this one is getting a little bit lost. And I think because the image is so green, it's going to be almost impossible for me to find a landscape that pops off of that. So I think this would be a good contender for a space background, space image. And I think this one. And these galaxy images are kind of the perfect size. This spiral one is perfect. So let's cut that out. Ooh, that's pretty good too. Let's see if I can find a galaxy that's similar. Oh, here we go. I just flipped open to this page and there's another one. This one I think will be really great. So we have our 4 postcards here. They're all pretty close to their final sizes, although some of them need to be trimmed up a bit more, but we can do that later. And I also cut out some planets and some extra fish, because I think we'll want to add some extra things to the scenes. Maybe this purple one fits in with the group. And I kind of like the idea that the fish are looking at the frame, have some interaction there. And I want to kind of maybe try to pull out some of the colors of the picture that's in the frame. So I'm thinking over here, you know, we can use a sort of greenish fish that maybe kind of pulls out some of the colors of the image inside. So I think that that's a kind of a nice pair. Maybe this long green guy goes over here to pull some of the green out, but maybe he's too green. Maybe we look at something more like that. Oh yeah, that might make a little bit more sense. And then some of the planet ones, we have some purple planets, so maybe those make sense to include. I think I need to be really careful to not overcrowd these images and the postcards. I think that I could easily do too much, and so I think I should tone it back a little bit. I think this one is good, this one is good. I just added 2 fish here. I think this one, it has a little bit too much stuff, so I'm gonna take some of it out. But I think that might be pretty good. And then I think this guy is way too overcrowded. I think he doesn't need nearly almost any of this stuff. Because there's a person in this one, there's already a lot of interesting things happening in the scene without all the extra planets and things. So maybe it doesn't need really anything. What I had was way too much. Man, I really did cut out so many fish and planets and really didn't use that many of them, but it was really more about finding the right ones. I think we're in a good place. There's just a couple little things I have to do, clean things up. We'll glue them to the blank postcards, get everything trimmed up, and I think we'll be all set. We ended up making 4 postcards today, all underwater themed with a portal to another world. I'm really happy I decided to make a series that all sort of hangs together and has similar themes. I really think the whole bunch turned out really well. So if you want a chance to win one of these 4 postcards, there is a Google form and all the details about the giveaway in the description down below, so check that out. I'll pick 4 winners and it will be random which postcard you get if you do win. I'll probably leave the giveaway up for about a week to give people enough time to enter. I just thought this would be a fun way to end the year. I hope that you all had a wonderful holiday season and hope you have a great, happy new year. And thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being along on this collage journey with me. It is a blast. I love making videos for all of you. Hopefully it's not another couple of months before I make my next video, but either way, I will see you in the next one. Bye.